What's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stickity Stacks in this thing, baby. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Representing TKOG. Bro, I don't even know what to call this deck. I just call it the Golden Castle. I've been making a lot of, I've been putting a lot of stuff to test, a lot of ideas that I just had, just with a bunch of really weird but cool cards that I just saw that would be so much fun to mess around with. And dude, it's crazy how many cards actually freaking exist, bro. Because I look for one thing and end up running to so many things that I have to literally do like this. I have to literally create a new deck that's not actually a deck. It's just a bank. And then what I'll do is I'll, for example, best tech spells, right? I'll just put all those cards in one of these under DB so that I don't forget about them, so I can come back to them. And then I'll literally start building decks utilizing these cards. I'll even build decks centered around these cards. There's actually one that I still need to add. It's kind of nice. It's this one, the other cattle one. Yeah, I like this one a lot too. There's just so much, bro. Dude, it's crazy. I found tech cards that can just search Winged Beast and just all kind of nonsense. There's just so many tech cards, and they're not even bad or situational. They're actually really, really good. It's just and I don't blame people for not doing it, because dude, this is my last off day now. I've spent 2 of my 3 off days literally just doing this. Just theory crafting, researching, cooking, and just testing. It literally has been a straight, I want to say 36 hours, because I've been sleeping 5 to 6 hours a day, and then just spending all the rest of the time just theory crafting. I'm so behind on real life stuff right now, but I really want to just finish this, because it's so much stuff that I wanted to do, and I just was bro, I don't even know what to call this deck, like I was saying. But if you guys like this kind of content, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't. If you would like to join my Discord, I actually have the link to my Instagram, which I just made not too long ago. I'm learning to be more fluent with social media, because I typically am very close-minded with social media, but I'm starting to use it more, especially with wanting to eventually start dropping music. I have to. There's that. There's Discord, and then also if you want to be coached by me, I'm also not that bad at building decks or testing them, or even just making bad decks good. I'm not that bad, So there's a lot that I could learn from you, but there's also a lot that you could learn from me. So yeah, this deck is kind of it's kind of nice with it. It's actually pretty bonkers. There is one card that I was thinking about though, and it was Gearfried. Because there's multiple times where not just searching it off the combo with Isolde for more pressure, but where your Iron Cage would be able to send one of your monsters. So if you already had enough gas, you would actually send your why isn't the freaking screen popping up on him? Pop up on Iron Knight for me, please. You'd actually send your Iron Knight, and if you sent from the field to the grave, soon as this freaking thing loads up, there we go. So if he's sent from the field to the grave by a card effect, which Iron Cage is a card effect, you can actually just add any warrior monster, which is kind of broken. So there's some really cool stuff that you can do. I didn't want to go too crazy on the warriors, so basically what I was doing was instead of playing a bunch of warrior extenders, you're basically, because this is a blind second deck, this deck is just meant to just break boards, and if it can't kill you, it'll just put up more than enough pressure. And more than enough to just be able to prevent you from reestablishing, and your crackback will be null and void. So you pretty much are just putting up 2, making dagger, and then you're making Codebreaker under him, and you're summoning Codebreaker to this zone, and then bringing out Codebreaker Day's 0 day to the other zone. And you can actually then use his effect, tribute him, pop a monster, and then go straight into Isolde, because that's 2 warriors right there. So you don't have to play any warrior extenders, you just play random monsters, and it just works. And if you already had a way to put another warrior on field, then 0 day is just a rank 4 material free to go to Dugaris, so that you can do OTK plays, some draws, some extension. It doesn't really matter. It's just insane what this deck can do. It really is. Even if you just want a special Ecclesia and go no effect, and then just overlay those two, you can get a lot of value with the cards that you're playing with this deck. And there's some really cool combos, but also I didn't build it to be like a uber duper combo deck, like I just want to go first and make a crazy board. I just built it so that like all of the cards that I play outside of like the engine requirements that you need to be in your deck for your searches to resolve, like they're all just going to be able to just like break boards or make boards at the same time. And these cards are just weird. Like the only cards that your opponent may be familiar with are the Brave cards and sometimes the Dogmaticas, but these cards definitely are unorthodox as heck, and people really don't even know what these cards do. The Golden Castle engine is kind of nice. I saw it and I was just like, that's insane that I can just go Golden Castle effect, special Hans for my deck, and go Hans special Knight for my deck. I can either make a rank 4 off of that or just go straight into Isold. And who cares if I can't normal summon when I can do all that without a normal summon? I don't mind. That's literally the only drawback. And you don't even have to leave this card on the field to worry about like trying to banish 10 to keep it on the field. It's a really, really nice engine piece. So it can facilitate Isold plays, it can facilitate rank 4s, it can do link plays, and also just being able to summon Hex True to just clear fields is really, really sick with it. So I like this card. It's very versatile. It was so versatile that I also opted to play Thrust and Small World, so that I can literally have 10 extra copies of it. So I'm basically playing 13 copies of Stromberg. But also at the same time, this is crazy with the Nadir Servants, the Rights, and even though Ecclesia isn't Nadir, going second, Ecclesia is like a Nadir because you can just add Matrix off of her and then use Matrix to get both Albazol and Calamity all in one. So like these cards are all literally like +2 to 3s when they resolve. And if they're not, they're just going to break a board. They're just going to like clear fields. Small World is literally just going to give you Law of Golem or Divine or Kodikara. And you're playing Gamma because you have so many power spells and cards that literally will just trigger Rice Heart, and you'll just Gamma Rice Heart. So you'll Gamma Rice Heart, you'll summon this. There's so much spice. I love this deck so much, bro. Like I am a crackhead with this stuff, bro. Like I just love making stuff work that quote shouldn't work. And it's just so fun. Like, you see Gamma and non-engine because, like, in the cash matchup, you're always triggering the Rice Heart because it's mandatory. You just Gamma Rice Heart, and then you summon this bad boy right here. And so when he synchro summon, you destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls. So you clear Birth, so no more follow-up, no more coming back off of just Birth, bringing back Unicorn and doing the whole combo again. Birth is gone, and you're doing it before they even can trigger Birth to, like, banish stuff face down. So Birth is gone, Diablos is gone, Shangri-La is going to detach to protect itself, and then you just go battle, declare an attack with this, and it kills Shangri-La. So long story short, Gamma, if you play this spice, like this is so... Bro, I have to, like, thank you, Lord Jesus. Like, God really hooked me up when he created me. This card is literally just makes Gamma a 1 card out to the entire Kashtira board. So, yeah. Super Poly, 1 card out to the entire Kashtira board. So, yeah. Thrust, 1 card out to the entire Kashtira board. So, yeah. Iron Cage hits the only card that matters, Shangri-La. It just makes your opponent sin something. And you're always clearing the Arise Heart, so you're just going to make your opponent put their monster in the grave. Like, literally. You send 1 monster your opponent controls to the grave, so you don't make them, they don't get to choose. So all your going second cards are insane. Like, they're gassed, they're cracked, they're absolutely broke. And all of your engine is also going second cards, because STROMBERG can do a multitude of different things. The Brave cards can allow you to literally clear 3 cards from the field and have bodies and just pressure to just do whatever you want, kill people. Same thing, make a board, break a board. Dogmatica cards, literally the same thing. Nadir is so insane against rogue decks. It's insane against branded. It's really good when a Rice Heart's not up. Nadir Servant's still broken. It's just dealing with the Rice Heart. That's literally it. And so you're basically just playing like... You're playing like 9 of... You're just playing like 9 cards that get you to just literally just a full Albazoa. Like all 9 of these get you a 1 card Albazoa when you're going second. If you're not going second, you don't get the other added effect to add any Dogmatica card from your deck to your hand if your opponent controls a monster. So just keep in mind, this is like a really powerful engine, and these are all just 1 card enablers. Because what you're going to do, like, I'm all over the place. I'm going to get to this, actually. I'm sorry. I'm like bouncing all over the place. Like, you guys got to know my list, you know. You look at this and none of it will make sense. Literally not a single thing will make sense. But it's genius. I love it. So small world. Both are going first and a going second card. Same with thrust. And that's what I like about these cards. Like, they can be engine pieces or just board breakers. This is not really an engine piece, but this can be an engine piece or a board breaker because it can send Knight and actually search a warrior. The Brave engine is just so broke. You actually are not allowed to normal summon when you use our Resolve Stromberg. And this is really dope with just lava goleing your opponent and just bouncing the lava golem back. It's really insane. Illegal Knight. Broken card. I summon this card a lot more, but if you want to play around Nib, you just put out Griffin Rider instead. And so we're playing Renaud because you're playing the Assault combo to literally just dump the Makonko water and bring out Renaud, add it back, and then you go Makonko water, target your opponent's monster, bounce their monster, summon this Makonko from your deck, equip this to her, use her effect, get this equip it to your opponent's other monster, take control of that monster, make access code talker, and kill your opponent. So yeah. and if you didn't need to do this, then that's available to you, like just to be able to summon the Dagger for Hire and then pop another, and then in the middle of your combos, like, this card's really, really oppressive. I like this card a lot, but in the middle of your combos, you set up a really decent crackback with this card. So this is like another way for you to just keep playing. And like, as long as this guy sticks, which it's really, really hard to kill this card. I mean, he's so protected, and there's even more ways to protect him. If you play the Dogmatica equip card, it's up to you. But this card is just super duper nice. So it just gives you added pressure and just to be able to just overlap your cards to do more if you can't kill your opponent. But you break their board with such finesse. It almost is like, even if you don't kill them, you get brownie points just for playing this deck. Like, nobody's gonna not give you their respect for playing this deck. Like, you'll get everybody's respect's gonna be earned, bro, just for the fact that you're playing this monstrosity. So these are all cards that are just part of the combo for like your engine requirements. I was even at one point playing the Tinyi cards. I was playing Kashtira monsters. I was just going Dracosac to Cherubini, and then going Cherubini into Enchantress, and then taking the Dracosac and the Cherubini and going into this guy or this guy, and just because he's a warrior, it would help. And then you would go Enchantress, go for right token, and then you would get the level 4 warrior brave monster, and then you would basically turn any 2 level 7s into the full combo for your Isold. But it's just so much extra steps, and it's like, for what, bro? Like, no. Like, you utilize your full brave engine just to make like 2 level 7s into an Isold, which basically just means bounce one, take one. But I'd much rather use the brave cards to clear the field and then go into the combo that way. Not like use the brave cards to start the combo, you get what I'm saying? Or use the combo to get to the brave cards. So like, you don't actually need these cards in every single opening hand. I mean, you are literally playing 3, 6, 9, 12, like literally 12 ways to get to it, which is kind of bonkers. Really 13, because sometimes all that matters is just the token and the Draco back. Like, these guys aren't that big of a deal. This is just an added Omni Negate just in case, you know. You can also make Arc Light if you want to. You can actually bounce your Renaud and just like summon him, and then that makes this and that into an Arc Light. After you use the effect of the equip to take your opponent's monster, you just sink these into Arc Light, and then boom, you have Arc Light. So if you have like another level 4 extender, like even Ecclesia for example, you just go into Dugaris, detach, and you can draw 2, discard 1, and then get Arc Light's effect to search and start getting into your Dogmatica cards. So there's a lot of cool things you could do with this deck. It's really crazy. The Stromberg stuff is super Mando. Everything in this deck is all 1-card combos. 1-card starter, 1-card starters, 1-card starters. The problem with the deck is like the engine pieces that you're playing for Stromberg, and then the engine pieces you play for the Brave and the Makonko are like dead draws. That's another reason why I'm playing 60. So it's not like it's just tier 0. Oh, it's so consistent. You're never going to draw random weird cards. You're just going to draw cards that are still live. If you draw them, you just much rather not draw them, you know. But for that reason, that's why you play multiple, so that also you can do more combos. Like, and your opponent's gonna make you go first. When they see Stromberg, they're just gonna make you go first. They literally are. And that's why like my extra deck's crafted the way it is, so that I can do turn 1 combos and make really good boards. Like I can take it even further and play the insect package with Golki Pole that I play in my Tinyi deck, and just search the retaliating C and the contact C turn 1. But I'm not trying to put more like bricky cards in my deck. So Stromberg, broken card. I really like this card a lot. I think it's super powerful. And then Nadir, this card has not seen play in so long. And this card is like another thing that inspired me. I was just randomly looking at spell cards, like all the spell cards in the game, and I saw this. And when it first read, I saw send something to the grave. I was like, wait, why? Hold up. Then I read it again, and I was like, oh snap, you got to play the castle cards for this. But however, during your standby, you get to take the monster and put it to your field. So this also makes it more insane because, bro, it's like expulsion but like reversed. So I like these cards a lot. This card is what inspired me to make this deck. The Brave cards just ended up coming in because they really helped to be able to just pick boards apart. Like you're just going Illegal Knight bounce, Draco back bounce, then you go into the Isolde combo, and then you're going equip one to your opponent's monster, bounce that, summon this, take your opponent's other monster, go into access code. You're literally just clearing fields, systematically picking the board apart, and navigating like a knife cutting through butter, just clean. And then all of these are super busted 1-card starters that really help you a lot, like to pressure boards and also going first. But I actually think, even though this sounds weird, I think Albazoa is more broken going second, because your opponent will have used so much of their extra deck that most of the time it's just like it says, for every 2 cards in your extra deck, send 1 card from your hand or extra deck to the graveyard. So if they have like an awkward number, they end up losing their extra deck, especially when they want to keep their hand. So this means like there is no follow-up now. There's nothing that you can do. And then the return all extra deck monsters you control and link monsters you control to the extra deck. Even though that says you control, what you're doing is you're making your opponent apply that. So this card outs towers monsters that are unaffected, because it's the opponent. So it's the opponent affecting those cards. So this card breaks any board. It doesn't target, it just breaks any board. It doesn't freaking matter, bro. When this card hits the field, the whole entire board's getting broken. And you know another reason why I play Dugaris is because when you leave Dugaris on the field and make this guy, you can go Dugaris, make him exactly 8,000. That's exactly game after you've wiped the entire field. This deck is so saucy, bro. Like, this is one of the coolest decks I've ever built. It's so fun. I have some tech cards down here that I was messing with. I was going ham with a lot of level 8s. And they were all happened to be spellcasters, so I was playing Chaos Scepter Blast, because this card does out like everything. It's good against Lab, it's good against Cash, it's great against Branded. It's just really bonkers. Like, oh my goodness. Banish is face down too. Super ironic, because Cash actually, you know, that's pretty detrimental if you're banishing their extra deck monsters face down. Like, it's kind of crazy. This card's so nice with it. It's not once per turn either. So this card was also like an Ecclesia target, because putting it out on field made it a level 8 body so that you can go do XYZ plays with it. It also meant that like if it's left on the field, it's a decent interruption, because all 3 of its effects are not bad, like especially the draw 2, but just being able to again pressure crackback. So it just made Ecclesia super nice, super duper nice, because she's also a target that you can get off of the Despian Synchro. You just special a light spellcaster whose attack equals his defense from your hand or deck. So you can even summon this on in phase, and then on your opponent's turn use it to summon the Iris Swordsoul, because this is a Swordsoul monster. So you summon it from your opponent's deck, to your field, and your opponent has to play around this as well. And that's because like sometimes you just have all the Dogmatica cards already. Like you have a crap ton of starters to get to Dogmatica engine. So it's really redundant to summon another Ecclesia when there's nothing else that you need. Like when you already have Fleur de Lis and you already have Punishment, what else are you going to search? Follow-up? Now you just want them to just die. You don't need them to have any type of pressure. It doesn't matter. Your follow-ups doesn't have to be overwhelming as long as you have an abundance of interruptions after you've already broke their board and put pressure. So super duper nice. Again, it's just another swaggy way to play this deck. Schism, that's obvious. This card was super dope. It was like another target off of Isolde, so that I can still get the equip spell for my Makonko monsters and also to make tuner, like to get tuner access to make cards like Baron or the level 8 Synchro. But it was just so much easier because Renault does basically the same things. He gives you tuner access and he gives you the equip, except it's with less steps, and this card actually makes you have to tribute itself to add an equip spell from your deck to your hand. But I like this card. It's really dope. It's really cool. It's just like more spice. Pop up. I was thinking about a bunch of ways to get to the field spell. It was like I was just researching. This card ended up coming out because you can't actually summon back both of them, because you're literally only summoning the Link monster to this zone, and then you're bringing back the level 4, or you're bringing back the Link 2. So either way, it's just like there's no point in making this guy, because you're gonna have the same. It's gonna be the same number of monsters when you started with him in the level 4, or just converting this. The only difference is like it's a Link 3 for access code. You know, that's literally the only difference. Sage of the Floor is also really cool. I was messing with some level 1 plant packages just to get more field spell access, because there's a plant monster that when it's special summoned, it adds any field spell from your deck to your hand, Stromberg, and Sage of the Floor just happens to add a level 1 plant. Like, I'm the Spice King, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I be feeling like it, you know, I be feeling like just, bro, why are these cards not being played? Sage of the Floor, you target a monster you control and a card on the field, pop them, so it's a going second card, and it's a level 8, and it's a spellcaster. So again, another reason why I was playing Chaos Scepter Blast, and it also being a level 8 for rank 8 plays, or if not, you just link it and then get its effect to add the plant, and then boom, you have a combo. This card's also being played in all of my Sun Avalon builds and all of my Rika builds, because it's a going second card that's also a starter, and you guys already know how I feel about multi-purpose cards that can both function as engine pieces while still being a board breaker. Like, that's the only way I prefer to play my decks. I build my decks so differently from how decks are traditionally built, because most people play non-engine. It's just like hand traps, eclipse, just cards that don't do anything for your engine, but they're meant to just make sure that you can break boards going second. But I put in extra work and extra effort to research and find cards that can do both for me, so that I'm never drawing dead cards. And then Eclipse is just like another option, but you don't really need it. Like, you literally don't. And it kind of sucks too when you want to resolve Albazo, because to my knowledge, when they're face down, the game state cannot recognize what mechanic they are and what extra deck type they are, so you can't do the Albazo OTK with your Dugars, and you want to do that. So I sold there's literally nothing in this extra deck that you need, so it doesn't matter if you play one of Diablosis can banish anything he wants, you're gonna kill them. I sold the For Hire Link 2. This card's really nice just because of its arrows and its effect. For the Codebreaker play, this is a really nice package for this deck, because it gets you a level 4 for your Dugaris OTK or the Draw 2 combo with Arclight, while also just being literally 2 warriors on field without playing any warrior extenders. Look at the warriors I play, 1 and 2. Yeah, well, this too, you know, this is like a really cool way. This is a 1-card combo that gets you into Isold. But when you don't draw that and you just have random bodies on field, your extra deck choices and like your main deck slots will allow you to be able to basically, it makes your hand more consistent because you don't have to draw any specific cards. Like, any warrior deck that I was playing, if I'm playing a warrior turbo deck and I can vomit bodies out like that, I would always play a Link monster with arrows very similar to this, like either this way or that way, and I would play the Codebreaker for multiple reasons. The Codebreaker engine is actually really good for multiple reasons. It's good to go into PK stuff, it's good for rank 4 extension, and it's also good for breaking boards going second, and it plays through hand traps like crazy, because 2 monsters on the field just converts into a combo, especially when you're making like a 3-mat Appaloosa and then doing that. It's so decent. So this is something that I feel like also warrior decks should be playing with. Like, I don't see Infernobilis or anything. Like, I've seen a Gokilis playing this card before. It's a really good engine. It just makes it, like I said, to where it doesn't matter what cards you draw, you can always warrior combo. And then access code to kill people, just a pop. If your 4, 5, 6 takes, like bounces, pops, and snatch deals weren't enough, you know, access code. But typically, the most saucy combo is just Albazoa for exactly 8k. Double Elder, Mud, and Garua. This is both a Super Poly and a Dogmatica target. This card can be made in this deck if you're playing what I was playing originally. And it's like super easy because you have so many ways to put level 8s, and you would just special Ecclesia for free, and then you just make this card. But I just saw this card's true value in its graveyard effect, and it's also like if you're making it, you need another because you don't want it to be banished face down or anything. Like Dogmatic Calamity summons him for freezies with this. Otherwise, you're committing more resources to make him. So this just makes it like so insane because this card is like another Nadir Servant to summon him, dump this, and this in-phase effect is not to be slept on. Again, this card in every single deck that I play Gamma in, I'm playing this card now because this card's effect also triggers on summon. And you guys gotta understand that's a difference between Scrap Dragon and other cards like that because their effects are once per turn, so that means your opponent could, like, for example, when they're summoned and they're just sitting there, your opponent could just bounce it, eclipse it, pop it, do anything. The only things that can interact with this card are chainables, like Imperm and Veiler. You can eclipse this, it's just not gonna, you know, it's literally just not gonna negate its effect. Like, you can Book of Moon this, you know, you can emergency controller this, like, you can do whatever you want, but it's a lot easier to break the board. And not only that, this is better than any of those other level 8 synchros for this particular list because of just the cash matchup, how it just clears Birth and the field spell and puts them on better habit. And also at the same time, again, you pop Shangri-La, it protects itself, and then at the start of damage step, this card battles a monster, you destroy that monster. So it also just outs Shangri-La. It outs the cash board completely. So if you have extra deck space to play this card, this is a genius tech. And if you have a deck that can trigger Gamma all the time where you have no monsters, there's no reason to not play this because this turns Gamma into a literal one card out to the cash board. Negate and destroy a Rise Heart. Summon this bad boy, destroy Diablosis, destroy Shangri-La, and then attack Shangri-La, and the whole board's dead. And guess what? Most of the time, you literally have two main monster zones available to you because 3 get locked out turn 1 in the combo. So it's so ironic that it even works to your favor if they have locked down your 3 of your zones already. So it's just super dope. It's super sick. I love it so much. And even let's say they chain they chain a Rise Heart to banish itself to trigger Diablosis on a separate chain. When Gamma and Driver hit the field, Shangri-La can only target unused zones. So it's not like they're gonna put you on, oh, you can only have one main monster zone. The Gamma package is also gonna make sure that you have 2 of your main monster zones and your EMZ to work with, which is beautiful. So I freaking love this card. It's such a dope tech. It's generic too. It's literally a generic card. And it's a level 8, so you can go into Ding, Zeus plays, all type of stuff. Like, if you have the gas, you just literally just use this, pop, destroy everything, put a level 8 on field, because you can even put this in the EMZ for space, put another level 8 on field, and just go Ding, send the Shangri-La, and it doesn't even, you don't even have to waste your battle phase now, because that means if you can't kill them, you're ending on Zeus, and like, when you're killing all their cards, popping Birth, taking all their follow, putting them on better habit, and you have Zeus plus other stuff, they're losing. They're losing. They're losing. So yeah, super dope. That's the deck. Like, that's literally like everything, bro. Like, there's a lot of weird cards in this deck, and when you look at it, you're gonna be like, this doesn't work, but it actually does. It's just like, it's a for fun experiment that I just really enjoy. I've been building a lot of for fun decks but still making them competitive and giving them interactions that actually are super duper like imperative, but also interactions that are impactful enough for you to say, hey, these cards are viable. I see the logic behind these being played. It gives you, like, it actually gives you that reinforcement for, you know what, he's not just playing this because he's trying to play rogue because he wants to, like, just be hard-headed and stubborn. He's not just playing this because it's cool. Like, he's playing this because it actually is good. Not because it was good for the jump, because, like, you can make anything good virtually because of all the cards that exist. There's, like, probably thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the entire database that you can use to make anything like your own Frankenstein monster that just counters the meta. This is just one of many examples of a great deck made from scraps and not even a center focus on an archetype, just a bunch of cards that work and overlap with each other and just happen to be really good against a lot of the decks this format. So thank you guys so much. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content, and deuces, baby. Peace.